Originally, this was supposed to be an entirely different video. The original video was actually me going through and playing the new Fall Makuon challenge and seeing how far I could get in it. In that video, I actually didn't even know what the Makuon challenge was because I haven't even done it yet. I went into it blind, knowing little to no information on it, and about 10 stages in of the video, I really thought to myself like, damn, this event is kind of boring. It was in no way what I expected it to be. I guess my expectations may have been a little bit too high, or my hopes may have been a little bit too high. Since they were advertising this as being a thing that was a non-stop onslaught to an extent, or like a lot of Makuons coming at you at once, it kind of gave me the impression that it was going to be similar to that of an Attack of quest. If you guys have played those, you guys know that we get like bombarded by like 50 like chickens, Tasmans, gold cats, pretty much anything for like the next minute that you play that until you beat all 50 of them, which is a pretty cool mode. It's an easy way for you to get, you know, some crystals and all that. But the Fall Makuon challenge, I thought it was going to be similar, and it's not. The Fall Makuon challenge actually works in the sense that on the first stage you fight 3 Makuons. The 3 Makuons are highly resistant to physical damage, so you have to use magic damage to kill them. Not only do you need to use magic damage, you also can't deal more than 9,999 damage at one time. It's not like you can just go in there and one-shot them with like Juno or something like that. It's going to take you a few times, especially the higher you go up. And then the second stage is featuring 2 Makuons and Alma. The 2 Makuons are still resistant to physical damage, but now Alma is resistant to magic damage. So you need a physical damage dealer on your team of some kind to get past it. And then once you do that, boom, you clear it, and guess what? The next stage unlocks, and it's the exact same, just a little bit harder. And from what I can tell, and from what people have told me in my Discord and other places, they have said that this goes on endlessly. I don't know if that's true. It may stop at 100 or 200, something like that, but for the most part, this thing goes on for quite a while if you want to do it for flux drops, which is, I think, fine for people who want that type of gameplay, who want flux drops. But the fact is that there's no real reward getting to higher floors apart from, oh, you got a lot of flux drops on the way. Literally, if you go into limited time missions for GS right now, there is no limited time missions featuring this event, which is kind of whack in my opinion. I think you should have at least awarded people for getting to like floor 50 or like floor 100 or something like that, they could get to it. So not only did this event just not have any limited time missions, I think the event gets pretty stale after like about 10 or 15 times of doing it. It also is just very, very disappointing in my opinion. Like I said, whenever I was looking into this, I thought it was going to be an Attack of quest on a grander scale. I personally feel like that those type of quests would work really well. And what I was talking about is, imagine, for some reason I feel like this was a mini game in one of the games that I played whenever I was younger. But pretty much imagine you load into a quest, which is the Makuon challenge. And the Makuon challenge starts off and it's only one stage, and the stage has, you know, unlimited time to it. You can stay in the quest for as long as you want to, but they're throwing 50 plus like Makuons at you every single time. There may be restrictions on the Grand Summoner's engine or just on some people's phones, so they probably couldn't do this, or without the game extremely lagging, but I actually thought that they were just going to sit there and throw hundreds and hundreds Makuons at us and see how long we can survive by doing that. People may think that gets stale, but I actually think that's pretty freaking fun. Because imagine after every 50 Makuons you kill, what happens if they get stronger and bigger, or you get like a different modifier on you, like you may get a debuff on you or a buff or something like that to help you continue your run to see how far you can get in the Makuon challenge. How many can you ramp up? I think it would be really cool to see how long you could stay and survive during all of that. This sounds like such a 90s arcade style like game, like after you've like just slaughtered everything. Like imagine at the end of it, like whether you win or lose, it says quest cleared, and then it just shows like a mountain of Makuons. Granted, this would take a lot of coding that like your characters are standing on top of to show you like how many Makuons you killed. Or I guess if they wanted to, how many you've knocked out to an extent. I feel if they wanted to, that would be such a cool mode, and they could tie so many things to it. If they want to do like an extra event like this where, you know, to give us something in between, I don't know why, I feel like that'd be really freaking cool. Because you could tie rewards to it for getting to a certain amount of time in it, for knocking out a certain amount of Makuons, or killing them. That depends on which one that, you know, GS wants to use. And then possibly too, it could randomly, like, instead of just the Makuons, like every, I don't know, 200, 300 Makuons you kill or something like that, a special boss spawns, and you could wind up getting Oldius to just come into the fight, or Ganon or something like that just appears, and he has more HP, and he's on like a lesser scale than how they usually are. I feel like there's so many options you could do with that type of challenge quest than what they did here. Because the problem that I have with the Fall Makuon challenge quest is not just that I find it underwhelming and just there's no real reason to do it apart from just wasting your time, which a lot of GS is just a time sink and time wasting. The part that I find annoying myself is constantly having to reload into the quest. Even though, yes, it doesn't take long. The fact is that, like, let's say you're on stage 9 and then you have to beat stage 9. Once you beat stage 9, you have to reload back out of stage 9 to load back into stage 10, beat stage 10, which takes like 10 seconds, reload out of stage 10, and then load back into stage 11. You see what I mean? Doing that over and over and over takes so much time. It's such a nuisance. And maybe that's the thing that GS needs to explore on a quality of life level for events and stuff like this that go on, or story events and everything, where whenever you beat a quest, you could just click next and it takes you directly into the next quest. You don't have to go back to the quest select screen. Maybe that is something that they need to explore and possibly implement, because that would shine in an event like this. And I think it would make my tolerance level for this event rise, because that's the main thing about it that is really just it turns me off from it so much. Because like I said, man, the original video for this was not actually supposed to be a video of how this could be really good. It was supposed to be me taking Luan into it and see how long Luan can fight off the hundreds of Makuons that I would be fighting in each round, which I think is what they wanted to do, right? Their idea that they have was sound in the sense that you are technically going to fight hundreds of Makuon if you go up to the higher challenge rounds, but not all at once. Which, see, in my opinion, I think you go big or go home. If we're fighting 100 Makuons, we fight all 100 of them at once. Which, like I said, is probably something on a technical level that's extremely hard to implement. But GS, I'm telling you, if you ever could do it, it'd be really freaking cool. And there's a lot more you could add to this type of game mode, right? We could even add co-op to it, but that'd probably be even more like problems and bugs and stuff you'd have to take care of before you could release the event. Like, there's a lot you could do here. I think the premise of this event is cool, but I think it needs a little bit more fine-tuning before we get it again. Like I said, I think we need the next feature somewhere in the game. If we're going to be following this style of round-based, I think we need a feature where as soon as we beat a quest, we can just click next and it loads us directly into the next quest. Or just make it one stage and be like, how long can you survive against all these Makuons? They get progressively harder, stronger, beefier, tankier, all that type of stuff. How long can you survive against that? But yeah, I didn't want to post a, what's it called? Jobless Reincarnation. What's the other thing that people call it? Masoku Tensei or something like that? I didn't want to post a video for that yet today because I want to kind of have all of next week just be non-stop Jobless Reincarnation crossover. But I at least wanted to share my thoughts on this event, because I really think that they have something special here if they want to pursue it, but a lot of the times just GS doesn't usually do that. That's all I wanted to say for this video. But guys, that's going to be it for this one, man. Thank you all for coming out. I know this was a little bit of a different video than what I usually do, but I just felt like doing it. But hey, thank you all again for coming out. It's been your boy Pete. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe for more. And last but not least, man, don't forget to drink water.